What's up, team? Let's jump right into the 3-step push-up checklist. Now, this is a very consolidated, simple 3-step process toward building up your push-up from start to end. Now, the biggest thing to understand is we have to really appreciate that the push-up is a technical exercise. I know everyone does push-ups. They live in every fitness and performance and strength conditioning realm. The problem is we often fall prey to not great technique, so poor technique, poor form, and it's really, if you master these 3 steps, you're gonna put yourself in a great position to have awesome push-ups with good technique, good form, building muscle and building strength and power. So step 1 is mastering what we call isometrics. So positions where you're staying still. And we simply just break it down. So the top position is the tall plank isometric. The mid position is the mid push-up isometric. And then the low position, which is the hardest, is the low push-up isometric. You could do all 3 of these positions. You could do them in the same training session. You could do, in one phase, you're doing one version. So the easiest one would be the tall plank. And maybe the next training block or phase would be the mid version. And maybe the phase after that would be the low version. Again, you be the coach, you be the artist, you be the creative one in terms of programming them. How to program them, anywhere between 10 to 30 second holds is plenty for 3 to 4 sets depending on where it is in the workout. Let's jump in to show you what we're looking for though. So with that push-up, my hands are right in front of my shoulders. When I eventually come down, I want to make sure my elbows are at this rough 45-degree angle, meaning I want to avoid this. I want to fall somewhere between here. That's where I want my hands to be whenever I do a full push-up. But for this exercise, this is the tall plank iso. I'm going to master that top position. So my hands are under my shoulders. I'm going to push up and away, and I simply hold this position. The next one would be the mid push-up iso. So halfway down, a little bit harder. And then the hardest one would be the low push-up iso, where I'm within sniffing distance of the ground. Okay, so those are the 3 positions. Master those in the isometric step 1. Step 2 is eccentrics, or controlled lowering. A simple one you can do is a 3-second eccentric. To make it more challenging, you could do a 5-second eccentric or lowering. The last one would be you lower down and then you kneeling push up, come back up. So I'll show you all 3 of those. Just keeping in mind, the goal is I'm focusing on the lowering portion, getting myself ready for step 3, which would be the coming back up full range of motion. So number 1 would be I'm going to lower down for 3 seconds only. So 1, 2, 3, rest, reset. Now this would be the 5-second eccentric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reset. Now what this one's going to be now is I'm going to lower for 3 to 5 seconds and then use my knees to place them down to push back up. So kind of an assisted push up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm here. I come back up like that and then I reset. So that would be the 3 kind of bullet points to target in the eccentric step, step 2. Step 3 is this full range of motion. So I'm going to get the lowering eccentric and then coming back up with the concentric. So I'm going to get that full range of motion. Now, some folks may need to start with a little bit easier of a variation. I can take this barbell, bring it down to roughly waist height, do push-ups on that, plyo box, any sort of sturdy object, a bench, right? So elevated, just a regular push-up all the way down, all the way up. Again, keeping in mind, I want my elbows at that rough 45-degree angle right about here, okay? If that becomes easy, then we can simply go from the ground, just a regular push-up, here, here. Notice from head to heels is straight the whole time. I'm not arching the back, sagging the hips. I'm not up here. It's nice and flat. I'm pulling myself to the ground and I'm pushing myself away from the ground. If and when that becomes easy, we can add in specific tempos. So 3 seconds coming down, 3 seconds coming up for some more time under tension. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. If and when those become easy, the simple thing to do is add some sort of external load like weight vests you see over there, chains you see over there, any sort of weight plate you see over there, to make it more of a loaded variation. And that is how you master the 3-step push-up checklist.